Hi, my name is Evan. I'm with Tree New Mexico, and we're going to talk about staking trees today. Sometimes trees can be wiggly when they first go in the ground, and if it has a small root base but a huge sail, a whole lot of leaves up top, then that can, unlike if you plant that in the spring, the winds can blow that over. If it's already been blown over, it may require staking. If it has, if you had to do a lot of work on encircling roots and removing roots in order to plant the tree correctly, it could need some staking. Those are pretty much the reasons is the stock isn't made, the root stock or the tree stock that you're planting is out of balance and won't be able to support itself. It's pretty much it. And so what we want to do is we want to help it support. So we don't actually tie it. We don't tie it to the tree because we want it to be nice and loose. We don't want to do any damage to the trunk itself. So what we want to do is we want to make a space that will support it, but won't actually won't damage it at all. And so we can make a nice big loop for the bottom, for the space that we're going to need to tie, and anywhere between 1/2 and 2/3 the way up the tree is ideal, but you can only stake as tall as your stakes can go. I think my stakes are about this tall, so this is pretty much where we're going to stake. We don't have any branches, so we're right on the trunk, so we want to make a big space for the trunk to move around in the wind, because moving around helps build the strength of the tree. And we can do this a number of different ways, and we'll start with the simplest, which is just 2 stakes. And we use 2 stakes opposite each other. Make sure you're outside the root ball. Keep the stake, there's a flat side and a skinny side. The skinny side is the strong way to the stake, so keep that in line with how you're going to tie. Probably don't need to go in too deep, a few inches is probably enough, because just needs a little bit of help. It's not going to float away or blow off, and this little bit of help should be enough to prevent any winds from blowing it over. Okay, and so that's my height. I have my loop. These are just 2 half hitches tied together, and I'm going to start with one side, and I'm going to make it kind of tight. Just a little half hitch. Make it a little tight, because these things will stretch. Next side, and here we're just using nylons because they're soft, they're cheap, they're easy. Stay away from anything too skinny, like fishing line or just string. Stay away from twine, like jute, and some hemps can be pretty tough, and polypropylene. So this is just 2 stakes. We have a little bit of space in here, but we are still touching the trunk. So as this rubs, it can slowly, you can even see some debris from the outside of the trunk getting on this. So we know that this will eventually cause some sort of damage. So we're going to take it up, and we're going to do 3 stakes. So for 3 stakes, we want to try to make those even from the tree. And I'm thinking about where my stakes are going to go in thirds, and how to even better protect the plant. Put 2 out here by the street where people open doors, and put 1 over there by the sidewalk. Yeah, these super skinny ones, you want to make sure you put them in so that the skinny side is facing the tree. Yeah, that'll hold. So, keep them. So once again, I'm going to start by making this one kind of tight. It looks like it's holding on to the tree there, but when I add the other ones, it'll loosen it up. There's one. There's another one. Oops. Just a half hitch again. No special knot unless you want to. Special knots can slide easily, can make adjustment a little easier. And there's a nice large space for the tree to be in. If the wind blows too hard, catches it. And that's all it needs. That's all it needs is just a little bit of help. So, but since there's no branches here where we're staking, and the wind does blow, we'll give it as much space as possible, and that's with 4 posts. Thank you. Same deal as before in our spacing. We're just equidistant outside of the planting zone, outside of the root ball. So they're more or less. And now our tree has plenty of space to move around any direction the wind blows without touching the sides too much. But if the wind blows super hard, something holds onto it, it'll catch it to prevent it from being blown over.